It was about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I was sat there in the pharmacist thinking about the medication that had just been prescribed. So I'd literally just seen the IBD specialist for the first time, and they're giving me the news that I've now got UC. So already my mind were racing like as if it were, in Formula 1 trying to get around a track, and now I'm sat there thinking about all these medications that the doctor wants me to take. Now, I've always been pretty anti-medication as it is, so when they said that you're gonna have to be taking steroids, I kind of instantly went, whoa, I don't really want to take these, because obviously they're a harsh medication. Steroid, you hear about all these different things about steroids and how they affect people and how people can either get addicted to them or they cause all these other side effects. So there's me sat in the pharmacy with all these other people sat there waiting for their prescriptions, pretty much shitting my pants because I was already nervous about what medication I'm taking, but because I was in a flare, so this is like the first time I haven't taken any medication whatsoever, so I was feeling anxious. I needed the shit, but I couldn't go for a shit because obviously I was waiting for my prescription. So I was there like my bowels were hurting. I was feeling like, oh, this person needs to hurry up and give me my medication because I need to go to the toilet. And there I was, just literally almost crapping my pants. They shout my name and then this massive bag comes out. It's like filled with medication. I'm thinking, fucking hell. Like, this is crazy how much crap I'm needing to take. So I quickly rushed to the toilet. I literally ran there, managed to get to the toilet just before I crapped my pants. Sit there like absolute agony again because it's like, oh, I had to hold it, and it's really so painful when you hold it, and then you sat there and it's fucking blood's dripping out my ass and like it's exploding, and I'm just like, oh, at least I now have something that's going to stop this urgency. And I think that's the biggest thing. That was like the relief of just sat there with this bag of basically tricks, basically, that if you take this and this and this, you will get in remission. So I sat there like, this will hopefully get rid of all the times I need to go to the toilet, because I can't be dealing with doing this constantly. At that point I must have had all these symptoms for a good few months. So I ended up first going to the doctors with like blood and urgency and things like that. They ended up doing like basically blood samples, and I waited ages for the response back, so it must have been like 2 weeks after that I thought, I've not heard anything back from the doctors. I wonder why. In fact, my symptoms are getting way worse than what they were before, but the doctors haven't got me, so I wonder what it is. Then I rung them up and I was like, oh, we got your results back, but they weren't that inflamed, or the markers weren't that high. I was like, oh, okay. Well, it's still worse, than they were like shocked on the phone. What, you still? Yeah, I'm frigging worse than what I were before. Obviously then that's when I ended up going to seeing them again, getting a stool sample, realising that my calprotectins were frigging high as out. Then I had to wait again to go and see the IBD specialists. So it had been months that I'd been suffering like proper bleeding and urgency. So when I got sat down on that toilet and I've got this bag of medication in front of me, there was such a massive relief of just, finally I can stop this fucking flare, this bloody symptoms, because they're just debilitating. They're taking away my life. I'm barely able to do anything. At the time I was going to the gym. Luckily I found out that going to the gym is a massive thing to help you with your fatigue, making you feel better like mentally, so you can actually handle the disease. So there wasn't many things that I could do during the day, but one of the main things I did was force myself to go to the gym, even if I needed toilet like once, twice, 3 times when I'm there. I thought, no, I need to make sure I'm keeping up my fitness, because obviously I wanted to make sure I still look good. That was the main reason. Back then I didn't know, so I just wanted to make sure I kept my 6-pack. I wanted to make sure I was building muscle because I just wanted to look good. So sat there thinking, yes, finally. Managed to obviously then get home after being on the toilet for like 20-25 minutes. Probably people banging on the door going, oh come on, get out. And I'm fucking sat there like, oh. So I got home. Then, as you do, you then open up this big fucking leaflet of all the side effects, how to take it, and everything else like that. So it's like this massive sheet, I'm not even kidding you, like it's like this, and it's like both sides of it telling you about how to take the medication, the side effects, and literally the side effects were on pretty much both sides of the page. And you're reading about all the dizziness, headaches, nausea, joint pain, insomnia, bloody like mood, depression, all these fucking side effects. And I'm looking at them like, what the? So I'm supposed to take this medication, and it's supposed to get me, like, it reduce the inflammation. But then look at all these other side effects and get. I almost didn't take the medication because of all these side effects. I thought, it doesn't make sense. I'm taking this one thing to reduce inflammation, but I can end up with like 50 different side effects. And then obviously I started worrying and thinking, oh, should I take it, should I not? Then I needed the toilet again, because obviously when you have emotional triggers and stuff, it makes you want to go for a shit. So there's me running upstairs again, freaking need to get to the toilet, sat down, freaking exploded out again. The absolute agony, just freaking thinking, you know what, I'm going to take this medication because I cannot live like this. Fuck all the side effects, fuck everything else. I'm literally just going to have to take it because I can't be dealing with living like this. Instantly, as soon as I finished, went downstairs, took out 8 tablets, because when you first start, the doctor advises you that he wants you on 8 tablets, which is like 40 milligrams for the first 2 weeks, and then you reduce it down by 5 milligram, which is 1 tablet each week. So it's basically an 8-9 week course. So I was like, okay, I can do this. So took 8. I was like, oh, they taste disgusting. They literally taste like chemical warfare in your mouth. You're like, oh. Like really, just get them in and swallow them down as fast as you can because they're just disgusting. They also gave me Octasa. Octasa are these like red tablets. They look like, I don't know, I've never seen them before, but they're kind of a bit rectangular shaped. They're like these red tablets, and these are supposed to help with, obviously helping making sure that your bowels are getting less inflamed and just basically coating the lining of your intestines to hopefully reduce the inflammation. They didn't work at all. I literally took the steroids, took the Octasa, and then as the days got on, like after probably I'd say about a week to maybe 10 days, the symptoms started to reduce a bit. So I wasn't going as often. I was still having urgency, still a bit of blood, still feeling like it was not in a place where I was happy. So then, as you do, you obviously take more weeks. And it was probably about the 3rd week that I was really feeling a lot better. So I didn't have the urgency, I didn't have the blood. But what came with that was other things, like I was getting a bit moody, a bit depressed. I was getting like a bit like bogged down by things that I wouldn't normally get bogged down by. I also felt like when I was lifting weights, my joints started to hurt, so that was like a bit debilitating because I was like, well, I'm keeping up with weight training because I want to look and feel good, but these medications are making it hard because when I'm lifting heavy weights, it's really starting to hurt my joints. So I ended up getting down to about 2 weeks left on these steroids. And I was thinking, oh, I'm starting to feel a bit crappy again, and then I started to get a bit more urgency again, started to bleed a little bit again. I thought, fucking hell, how? This doesn't make sense. This is supposed to get me into, reduce the inflammation and make me in a good place. So I had to ring the doctors up, and there's like, okay, well, we maybe have to go on another course of steroids. What we'll do is we'll give you another full course, go back to up to 8 tablets for 2 weeks, and then slowly reduce it down again. So I'm thinking, fucking hell, great. I'm already getting joint pain, I'm already feeling moody, I'm already feeling, not good, and now I'm having to go back on them. I didn't really want to. The second course, this is where things got really bad for like acne. So the first course I didn't get too many, like I got an odd few here there, but the second one I was getting massive amounts of acne, like all over my face. I'll try and find a picture and put it on the screen of how fat my face got with all the acne. It was disgusting basically. My face, like it's called moon face, was like, I was like, and I've never been like a chunky person where I had like fucking excessive fat on my face or anything like that, but I looked ridiculous. My face was like this big ass spots. I'd literally have a spot, pop it, and then within a space of 3 hours it'd fill up and I'd get another head. Now popping the spots is probably one of the worst things you could do, because obviously you're popping the skin and it made loads of scars anyway. So I popped this one, and then later it would come back with 2 heads, and I'm like fucking trying to pop it again because I didn't want them, because I think they look disgusting. Made me feel the confidence just literally went from up here after training, body weight, like after like training in the gym, feeling great about myself, started to put muscle on, started to look good. But as soon as I started taking these, my confidence went down and down and down and down. And at the time I was single, I was trying to date people, so I was on dating apps, because obviously it's easier to speak to people on dating apps than randomly talk up to people. So I was talking to these people, trying to obviously meet up and go on dates, and quite a few of the times I was just like, I don't really want to go on dates because I felt like shit. But I think eventually I ended up meeting up with the partner I'm with now, and obviously the pictures I put on were pre-steroids, so I didn't have all these fat face and stuff. When I met up and stuff, obviously I looked a little bit different than my pictures, but she obviously she didn't mind too much. She thought I should look better looking in real life than some of the pictures I previously used, so it wasn't too bad. But confidence wise, I was nowhere near as confident as I was before I started taking this medication. And then as the year progressed, I ended up having to take another 2 courses of steroids. So I was on 4 whole courses of steroids for that year, and then the last ones they told me to stay on a certain amount for longer periods of time. And as you can tell, I was getting more spots, I was feeling more shit, the joint pain was just unreal. And then that's when I ended up going on some harsh medications. But steroids itself, people don't realize how horrible they can be, and how much they feel like they are, like you get that first initial realization, yes, I can finally start living a normal life again. But then what the doctors don't tell you is all the side effects of it that then end up taking your life away again, because you feel less confident to go out and do things. You look absolutely disgusting, and in the pictures and stuff you absolutely hate the way you look, and your joint pain, so you're not being able to do much. You feel tired and fatigued because these medications are taking so much out of you. So it's like bittersweet. You may not be going to the toilet 15, 30 times, however many times a day it is, bleeding and everything else, but instead you feel like crap and you don't want to go out because you don't want people to see you, and your joint pains, you're not able to be as active, and you still feel fatigued because these steroids are so fucking harsh. Now what I found out later on, obviously from me becoming, like doing the carnivore diet, is the fact that I could actually reduce my symptoms without having to take any steroids. So when I first started, I made sure that if you make sure when you first start flaring, instead of panicking and stressing out and quickly ringing the IBD specialist like I used to, as soon as I saw a bit of blood, I'd wipe, oh fucking hell, stress out for the next 24 hours, really frantically wondering what's going off, then ringing the IBD specialist going, oh, I need some steroids, then fucking everything else stressing out, and then the symptoms get way worse. You just take a step back. How can I manage my symptoms without going on medication? And that is where, if you just eat beef, water, salt for I'd say 5 to 7 days, your symptoms are pretty much gone. And I'm not even kidding. If you go on the carnivore diet and only eat beef, salt and water, your symptoms could pretty much go within 5 to 7 days. Then I'd say if you're going to do it properly, to make sure that you're healing all your bowels and giving your time, like the bowels actual rest, you want to be doing it for 30 days. Then this gives your symptoms like pretty much a chance to disappear, because they will do. Then it also helps because you're removing all the irritants. It's not irritating your bowels anymore, so you literally let every single day that you're not eating these things, your bowels can get a chance to heal. They're sealing up the gut lining, because obviously when you have a flare, it damages your gut lining, and your gut lining is where it's basically like a net, and if you eat food, if it's loose, it basically comes through all the bits of food and bacteria into your body, which then obviously causes more inflammation, makes you feel like shit. So when you're able to seal that up, nothing's coming out, and then that means you're feeling fantastic, your inflammation's reducing. Then there's also obviously histamine. If you've got a bit of histamine intolerance, if you are sealing up your bowels, you're not eating foods that irritate, and you're eating beef, it's the least histamine food there is out there, so then it means it's reducing your symptoms even more. I've actually got a protocol, 90-day protocol, that's in the description, which has led me to being 23 months in UC remission. There is other things obviously you need to think about, that isn't just all down to diet, and it goes into the protocol. But ideally, if you can just do 30 days of just eating slow cooked beef, like maybe in some water, a bit of salt, that is one of the best things you can do. And at the end of the 30 days, you can kind of then evaluate where you want to go from there. Do you want to stay carnivore because you feel so good, or do you want to start slowly introducing foods back in, because you can at the end of the day, because you've gone 30 days without that. You can see which foods irritate, which foods feel good, which ones make you feel like shit, and then hey presto, you can start then maybe moving on without medication, start really focusing on healing naturally, getting to the root cause, living how we used to live prehistorically. We never used to have medication to help us or get us out of things. We used to be able to do it naturally, and basically just focusing on healing ourselves properly. Right, that's it for today, guys. If there's anything you'd like me to record a video on, anything you want me to do to help you out, then put it in the comments below, and I will see you again soon.